Well, I went through them, nobody bothered about it, and then the years go by and they're gone. And if somebody don't write about it, Dirty Dick was one of them.
Oh, God.
They called him Dirty Dick. He never had a wash.
No, oh dear. And you used
Well,
to be a milkman, didn't you? You used to be a milkman.
I was a milkman,
well, so
yes. I used to go all in the homes. And a brushman too, sell brushes as well. So I visited most Cambridge homes over the years, well, practically everywhere. Yeah, so I knew all the characters about, you know, a lot of them anyway. You for a start. And I was only joking.
Didn't you tell once when you had a horse and cart for the milk? A policeman stopped you because he thought you'd done a burglary or something, didn't he? Yeah? Do you remember that?
I said, it weren't me, I said. I did that last week.
I think there was something about you, I forget myself now, but I remember you saying something about your horse, when you had a horse.
I had a horse.
And the milk round, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've done about everything.
Good. Can you remember some of the old people that you used to know?
Well, I do. It comes back to me, you see.
Yeah.
Well, Dirty Dick was the one famous old character. He never had a wash at all. He used to go around looking filthy. Right. So they called him Dirty Dick.
Right.
But there's a lot of characters about, really.
Yeah. Can you sort of remember any of them? Any more?
Well, it's hard to come. I know so many of them, you see.
Right.
It's hard to depict just a solitary one. But there's so many about in those days, you see. They had to be characters to exist, you see.
Yeah.
Because there's no money about. And they never earned much money. 30 bob a week was the top wage, and that never went far, you see. So they wanted money.
How do you think Cambridge has changed over the years?
Well, everywhere it changes, socially. Mainly socially, you see. People get more rich than they were years back, you see. So much poverty then. Then they get a job and have money left them, and they're a little bit better off than they were, you see. But it was a poverty-stricken area a few years ago, you see. And errand boys only got about 10 bob a week, so you couldn't earn much then, you see. But there we get by, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people used to work for the college.
Pardon?
A lot of people worked for the colleges.
Oh yes, so cheap labour, you see. Go at nights, wash up in the kitchen, in the bursary, somewhere like that, or waiting round in the dining room. They did a bit of waiting, you see. The colleges provided quite a bit of money for some people who hadn't got much. Yeah. They could earn £1 or two, you see.
Do you remember much about the workhouse?
The workhouse
in Mill Road, wasn't it?
Well, that was a famous address, 81A Mill Road, and people said that they said you come from 81A Mill Road. That was the workhouse, you see.
Right. Was that the old maternity hospital? Was that the Mill Road Maternity Hospital? The workhouse?
Yeah, that was then, but that's changed now. But years ago, that was the maternity hospital. Right. 81A Mill Road, the workhouse.
Did you spend any time in the workhouse yourself?
Yes, we all did at some time or other, you see. If we got out of work and depicted as more or less vagrants, you were listed, you see, and then you were grafted into the workhouse, you see. They treat this boy, bring him up a bit better, put him in the workhouse, get him working. That's what they called it, the workhouse, you see.
Are there any places in Cambridge that sort of stick in your memory more? Like, I don't know, East Road Church, the Baptist Church, anything, buildings?
Well, I think the East Road Church was in our memory a lot because we were poor and we got a little bit of money from the churches or the people running the churches. But Cambridge has been a wonderful place for me, really. Yeah. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, do you remember the wartime in Cambridge? I know you were in the army in the desert, but do you remember
Well,
much
I remember
about...
coming home on leave in wartime. It was very derelict, and most of the men were at war, so women were taking over jobs that men were doing. And it was quite interesting to find that women could do a job just as well as we could, and better sometimes. Yeah.
Well, when you came out, when you left the army, could you get a job easy in Cambridge? Was there lots of jobs?
Yeah, if you've been in the army, it was a good thing for you to get a job. They say, oh, he's ex-army man, and you got a job easier than if you hadn't been in the army, you see.
You went to become a caretaker at Lee's School, yeah?
That's why I went caretaker at Lee's School a little time. That's a cushy job. Good accommodation, good money.
Do you remember the bomb at Vicarage Terrace?
Oh?
A bomb landed on Vicarage Terrace.
Oh, yes, yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, it caused quite a sensation because hitherto we hadn't had many, and we all felt we were going to get an avalanche of them, and everybody was scared and turned the lights out at night. No flick, if a cop would go round, if he saw a flicker of light, he always put you on a charge, so you had to be very careful. But we got by.
Good. Was there much damage? Was anybody hurt?
There weren't a lot of damage, no, because everybody got out of the way, got in safe area to go. So they dropped in the safe area, more or less. I don't remember anybody getting killed. I suppose there were that I hadn't heard of, right. But I don't remember anybody getting killed. Injured, but not killed, you see.
Right, okay.
Terrible days.
Can you tell us a little bit the way you used to sell your books with the trolley and you used to go around people's houses?
Oh, yeah, well...
You used to sell 20 a day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Your target.
Well, I used to write about characters, and the houses I visited, most of the characters lived around that area, so they were anxious to buy a book and read about him, you see. So I sold hundreds of books through writing about different characters in Cambridge. Some were good characters, and some were crooks. They loved the crooks ones the best, as usual. Yeah.
So did the same people that used to buy your books, every time you wrote a new book, did the same people buy the book?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you used to remember the houses where they bought books from you?
Well, yes, I did, yeah. Even if they were crooks, they'd still buy a book. They wanted to read about themselves. What I'd written about them, you see. Oh, yes, it's good what you said about me.
You used to change the names, though, didn't you?
I was changing names. Who was he? I heard him. Called him Pimbo, I think.
That's right. So how many years did you sell your books for, Dad? Do you remember? How many years did you sell your books for?
A year.
How many years did you do the books?
Oh, I was selling books for about 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
All told, yeah.
Yeah.
Must have sold hundreds of books, yeah.
I think you sold a lot more than that, I think.
One say, hey, you wrote this about me. I said, well, that was true, wasn't it? And he looked, well, yes.
Yeah, what is your favourite book? What sticks in your mind and why?
Well, I think it was about Dirty Dick, a character they called Dirty Dick.
Yeah.
He apparently never washed, but he used to help people out.
Yeah.
He ain't got time to wash, he got more time to help people.
My favourite was Do On Your Feet from Fulbourn Hospital.
Who?
You wrote Do On Your Feet about Fulbourn Hospital.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good book.
Yeah, people.
Did you enjoy that one?
Well, I was able to write about people in the hospital without degrading them, because they were good characters, really, and landed up in hospital through bad luck. So they weren't bad people. So they liked me to write about them and bring out their good part of their characters. And they enjoyed that, yeah.
How many years were you at Fulbourn Hospital?
I worked there for about 10 years.
No, longer than that, I think. You were there longer than that.
Could be 15 all
Yeah,
told,
that's right. I think so, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So what other books, what was other books that you liked? Do you remember some of your other books?
I've got some there, haven't I?
Yeah. Childhood Revisited.
The Good, the Bad and the Different. Childhood Revisited, yeah. All the kids I knew in those days.
That's the Cambridge Barbershop Tales. Do you remember anything? Yeah, you liked that one, didn't you?
Scotty, the barber.
Yeah, where was he? Tell us about him.
East Road, he was.
Yeah?
Oh, they had a son, Albert. Scotty did, yeah. And he used to back horses. A real character, you know. And anybody want to know anything about a character in Cambridge, he'd tell them about them, you see.
Where was his shop?
All
East
the
Road.
bad parts.
Where was his shop? It was a hairdresser.
On East Road, opposite Macintosh's, the ironmongers. It's on the corner.
I don't think that's Macintosh's. I think that's Mackay's.
Mackay's, yeah.
Yeah,
I said Macintosh.
Macintosh's within town, wasn't it?
He was quite a character.
Yeah.
Well, they all were in those days. They had to be to get a living and get by, you see. Well, I was one of them. That's Cambridge. So I used to write about them and I found them, you see, different people.
How did you like your poetry? You liked writing poetry?
I used to write some poetry.
Yes.
Little bit. Nothing too refined, but more about Cambridge people, you see. But people enjoyed it, because nobody had bothered to put poetry into a character. So they enjoyed that, you see. Yeah. And the one that I'd written about, they knocked on my door, "Hey, you got any more for me?" Yeah. They really wanted them.
What did you like doing the best, writing books or poetry?
I didn't mind which.
You liked both?
Both came easy for me, you see. And I used to like to write poetry about people. Yeah.
Good.
But if you want to start writing, every field comes into it, you see. You can write about anybody, anything, and that's how you do. But the main thing, you try to make it interesting for people, you see. And then they read your books, then, you see. Or they might come and say, "You wrote this about my dad, didn't you?" I said, "Well, it's true, wasn't anybody?" "Well, yes." It's true. Never mind.
Looking back on your life, are you pleased what you did with your books and your poetry and everything?
Yes, very
No
pleased.
regrets at all, you liked it?
No, I wish I could have done more. But I never had the time to do more. Or the brain to keep sorting everything out. So it's a history for people.
Yes.
So they like to know. And the son loves to know what his dad was like. Even if his dad was a bit of a rogue. Was he like that? Did Dad do that? Yeah. No, you did.
Did some people from Canada and places like that use your book as a thesis, didn't they, for degrees and things? Lots of people around the world.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? You got some good letters, didn't you?
They didn't mind. No, it was true. And I wouldn't dream of writing anything which wasn't true, because they'd soon be down on it, you see. Once they know it's true, they lay off you.
Good man.
They didn't do any more.